Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I regretfully must tell you that I believe our president, Barack Obama, is profoundly misguided in his views when it comes to what is to be done with the conflicts in Syria. I do not believe it is in our interest to get involved militarily in a sloppy, chaotic civil war we don't know that much about. Now, the president says that although he has the authority to issue this military strike, he's going to seek Congress's authorization first. However, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely believe that he's merely doing this to look good, and that he doesn't really care whether or not Congress authorizes military force on the Assad regime. I believe that Barack Obama will use military force on the Assad regime whether or not Congress authorizes it. And he made it clear when he emphasized the fact that he had the authority to do it with or without Congress's authorization. This level of dishonesty and deception and manipulation to me is extraordinarily disappointing to see that from our president. And what will be the ramifications of U.S. military involvement in the military conflict already existing in Syria? Well, let's ask ourselves, what is the situation exactly? You've got a regime, an evil regime, the Assad regime, versus a wide array of different political organizations who refer to themselves as the Syrian opposition. Among these groups who are part of this opposition, we have the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda. So let us be clear that when the President of the United States goes on his spiel about how Assad is using chemical weapons on his own people, he's using chemical weapons on the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda. And neither the Muslim Brotherhood, nor Al-Qaeda, nor the Assad regime are decent people. None of them. The Assad regime believes in tyranny. The Muslim Brotherhood believes in outright terrorism and is an umbrella organization that Al-Qaeda comes from. So you've basically got crazy terrorists fighting crazy terrorists. And why should we get involved in such a military conflict? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next few weeks, we have a responsibility as American citizens to contact our federal representatives and our president and our vice president and demand that they do not allow the use of military force in that we do not get our military involved in the situation in Syria. This is crucial, ladies and gentlemen, because what happens? What value do we get out of it? Well, President Barack Obama claims that the motivation ultimately is that it's a national security threat for us because the Assad regime is using chemical weapons, and he's afraid that the chemical weapons are going to get in the hands of terrorists. Well, the Assad regime is a terroristic group in its own right, and so is Al-Qaeda and the Muslim Brotherhood, who they're fighting against. So what if the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda get the chemical weapons in their hands by defeating the Assad regime? Clearly, Obama's concern is not the use of chemical weapons whatsoever. Furthermore, if President Barack Obama is profoundly concerned with injustices of tyrants and the evil they perpetrate on their own people, then how come the president has no problem with the situation? I shouldn't say no problem. I know that he has voiced concern, but how come President Barack Obama is not pressuring North Korea to stop throwing their people into concentration camps? How come President Barack Obama is not putting pressure on North Korea to stop starving its own people? North Korea is the most dangerous country in the entire world, and I don't see President Barack Obama putting any pressure on that insane regime out there. What about Iran building nuclear weapons? And of course, selling weapons to Syria. How come President Barack Obama isn't putting any pressure on Iran? Instead, he wants to put pressure on Syria. To me, this doesn't make any sense. There are, to use his own words, I don't remember the exact words that he used, so I'm not going to go there. But to use his own reasoning, there are major atrocities occurring in the world today. And the situation in Syria, I think, is not the most worrisome. In fact, clearly the president doesn't think it's as worrisome as he tries to lead us to believe, considering the fact that he said it makes no difference whether there's a military strike in Syria today or a month from now. How urgent is it that it can clearly wait at least a month? Next, ladies and gentlemen. Today I was in Philadelphia, and there was a rally. There was a rally demanding the legalization of marijuana, and at one point in the rally, a group of people decided to commit civil disobedience and smoke marijuana. And out of respect for those brave people, I'm going to have a drink. Because it's not fair that I'm allowed to have a drink and no cop is going to come after me and either charge me a $125 fine or throw me in jail. Those people are fined or thrown in jail for smoking marijuana or eating it or doing whatever they want with it, possessing it, growing it. My running mate, Don DeZarn, was among those who were grabbed by the police and fined. And in fact, Don is going to have to appear in court. I went up to the police and I told them that I thought what they were doing was wrong, but obviously they didn't listen to me. I'm just going to say, as I have been saying in the past, that to have 20, 30 police officers at a rally where people are protesting the marijuana laws and they're lighting up joints in a city that isn't the safest city in the world. The cops could be doing other things. The cops could be going after murderers and rapists and armed thieves. Instead, they've decided to spend extra money and time harassing pot smokers. It's an outrage, and it's a problem here in New Jersey as well. And I hope that more people realize just how much of an outrage it is. I've got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This next drip of alcohol is for those who were grabbed by police officers today for consuming a substance that is not bad for them.